Hi everyone, good day. Thanks for joining Megaport live tech drop today. So I'll be doing the sharing. So for today tech drop, I'll be sharing about Megaport and Megaport Virtual Edge. Then followed by that, I'll be doing some simple demo. And here is some information about me. So I'm Serena To. I'm the pre-sale solution architect at Megaport, and I'm based in Singapore. So below is my email and LinkedIn. So if you have any requirements or questions that you want to get connected to me, feel free. So at Megaport, we believe connectivity should be easy. So we built our own global private network that provides secure, simple, and scalable connectivities. And yes, we are a network service provider, and we operate our global network infrastructure and manage this network through software-defined networking. So with just a few clicks using our self-help portal, you can create a private global network on demand as fast as 60 seconds. So there's also API libraries or Terraform providers if you want to use for deploying of services through us. We spent more than a decade building this truly massive global network across 930 data centers, more than 400 service providers, including the major hyperscaler like AWS, Azure, GCP, Google Cloud, and IBM, and in over like 26 countries. So this map is a representative of the network that we have built, and of course, not including every single port and a physical route, okay? So with Megaport, a global network ecosystem, it is comprised of 930 data centers globally. And we have direct access to more than 360 clouds on RAM that today we are already interconnected to. So we also have network operators and service provider, which offer high-speed connectivity solutions, as well as platforms and infrastructure provider like GPU as a service, bare metal for training AI models, etc. So these solutions are offered via our platform, and you can actually consume these services via our platform itself. We also have our own internet exchange, which we call MegaIX, which allow customers to have direct peering to providers to reduce data transfer latency. And today, we have a very diverse range of enterprise using Megaport backbone to interconnect their business infrastructure using our backbone itself. So with Megaport ecosystem, we provide this vast interconnect platform that empowers organization to seamlessly connect. Okay, so how does Megaport compare to other connectivity providers like those traditional provider outside? So as you can see from the slide, okay, so in terms of pricing, you only pay for the capacity that you deploy, and there's no setup fees. As compared to the traditional provider, there's expensive setup costs and also lock-in prices. So for speed and capacity, since we have the portal that allows you to scale the capacity up and down on demand, you no longer have to worry about like traffic spike or wasted capacity. And the best part is that you can do real-time provisioning in the portal yourself in 60 seconds. So our terms are very flexible. Okay, so you can choose your own terms based on the requirements. So no lock-in if you choose not to. Okay, so we have terms from 12 months, no terms from 12 months all the way to 36 months. And the best part is that you're able to scale the bandwidth on demand, even during the terms itself. So through our ecosystem, you're able to connect to all the major hyperscaler, okay, which I mentioned earlier, like GCP, AWS, etc., and over hundreds of data center operator and 360 service providers across the globe, which today we are already interconnected to. And lastly, your data travel on our private global network, actually bypassing the public internet. So therefore, you will have very predictable performance, like having your own private fiber line. Okay, so these are some of the very common way models that customers consume our platform, as you can see. Within our ecosystem itself, we most commonly see customers connecting from data center to cloud and from cloud to cloud and also between data centers. So for example, data center to cloud is like connecting your on-prem data center to the cloud service provider like Azure via Express Route, AWS via Direct Connect, okay? And for cloud to cloud, it's basically like using a layer 3 cloud router, which Megaport have, we call it a MCR or a virtual edge itself, to bridge the connections, okay, to allow cloud to cloud communications without bringing the traffic back to the data center. So in short, it's like a GCP is trying to talk to AWS using a cloud router that is offered on our fabric itself. So for data center to data center, basically is to interconnect businesses, offices in different region using Megaport backbone. So for example, you have a head office in US, and then you want to connect to another office in Singapore, you can use a data center to data center interconnect for such purposes. So many customers are also looking at virtualizing their network pops with our virtual edge, which is our layer 3 services. So what happens is that Megaport will offer this compute on our network where you can deploy virtual network appliance from vendor like Cisco, Fortinet, Palo Alto, and so on and so forth. Okay, the concept here is that you need to bring your own licensing and you can liaise directly with the providers providing such service for the licensing. Okay, and lastly, using Megaport Internet Exchange for direct peering. Okay, so by using Megaport itself, customer has the ability to connect to any destinations, including the cloud on-ramp, okay, between data center as well as our Megaport ecosystem in this network itself across the globe on demand. So therefore, using one platforms actually enable you to scale and deploy capacity on a very demand basis, yeah. Okay, so without further ado, now is the time for live demo. So for today demo, I'll be showing you how to deploy a Megaport virtual edge on our backbone in minutes. Okay, so let me head over now. Okay, so before I move on to the demo, I would like to show you that we have this very interesting page, Megaport enable locations, whereby you are able to find all Megaport point of presence around the world. Okay, so for example, before you decided to deploy a virtual edge on our fabric, you need to know, which data center offer that's compute for you to host. Okay, so this is the place whereby you can actually find out such informations before you plan. Okay, so for example, let's say I'm looking at these are all the countries over here, okay? So you can do a filter based on MVE. So let's say you deploy an MVE, you look for MVE, enable, okay, filter over here. So it gives you a list of choices for the location that we have MVE compute at these locations. So likewise, let's say I look at Singapore, okay, I'm going to deploy an MVE in Singapore. Okay, so this is the place where it will filter out all the MVE resources that we have in the data center, yeah, okay. So as you can see, these are locations. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to deploy a virtual edge at NTT later on. So as you can see, we have like MV enable over here. Okay, so let's head over to the dashboard. Okay, so this is the Megaport portal whereby customer can self-help do deployment of services, monitoring of services. Okay. So this is the landing page, okay, of the portal itself. So as you can see, this landing page it actually shows you a globe, okay. Let me just zoom. Okay. Okay, so this is a globe whereby it shows a Megaport point of presence around the globe. So the dots on the globe actually show you the locations, the data center locations that we have. So you can just click on any dots to expand the locations, for example. You can even create deploy the services, okay, using point and click itself over here. Okay, this will show you the bird eye view of the services that we have in the portal itself. Okay, so it'll show you like if you have ports, if you have cloud router, virtual edge itself, it will show you that the number of services that's running and also the service that is down. Okay, so let me head over to services over here. Okay. Okay, whereby we are going to deploy a virtual edge right now. Okay, so I'm going to show you the steps and how easy it's going to do that. So you can head over to this create MVE. Okay. Then I'm going to find the locations. So for example, I'm going to find Singapore. Okay. As mentioned, I'm going to select entity. Okay, I'm going to click entity. But before we move on, there's this thing called diversity zone. So it's mainly for resiliency. So our diversity zone is split into red and blue zone. So for example, for entity itself, okay, I can let it auto select. So I'll just choose entity. And this zone auto. So for the MV configuration, these are all the vendors that has been approved to be used on our compute itself. Okay. So you can choose, okay, we have like 6-win, BSR, all the way to Versa. So for today demo, I'll be just doing a Cisco C8000 V series, okay? So you just hit on to Cisco C8000, okay? Determine the version that you want. If not, just choose the default. And I'll just put a name, so I'll just put MV, tech, drop, okay? And then I will need to choose the size of the compute, okay? So we have different size ranging from 2 virtual CPU all the way to 12 virtual CPU. So it's also depending on locations, that locations having the compute. So for entity, we have all the full compute. Okay, so for today, I'll just use the smallest compute. And for the appliance mode, because we support SD-WAN as well, okay, but for today demo, I'm going to show you how do we spin up just a C8000 router, okay, a virtual router, okay. So you need to have your SSH key ready. Just let me take my SSH key. And I'm going to pump it here, okay. Then, okay, so as you can see, we have this virtual interface. You're allowed to add up to 5 virtual interface, okay. Yeah, so if you wish to, you can add it now. But just to remember, once you spin up the MV and you didn't add the VNIC, okay, you need to redeploy the services again, okay? So it's better to add now if you need, okay? So I just choose to default. So for the term itself, okay, as you can see, there's no minimum term, there's no lock-in all the way to 36, okay, months. So you enjoy greater saving if you are tied to a longer term, okay? So I just choose no minimum term. I'll hit next. Okay, just review the information over here. Okay, everything is okay. You add the VXC. Yeah. So as you can see, for Megaport itself, once you add an MV, it will prompt you for this Megaport Internet, okay? So Megaport Internet is needed because once you spin up your MVE, your virtual router, you need internet to remote access to your appliance for management configuration, okay? So therefore, you need to create the Megaport Internet. Okay, I'll just click on here. And then I will choose the locations of the internet that I want. So for Singapore, we have Global Switch and Equinix SG2. So I just choose anyone. I'll just hit next. Okay. So the rate limit for the internet start from 20 Mbps up to 10 gig. Okay, so I think 20 meg is good enough for you to SSH into the equipment. So I'll just put it 20 meg. But you're free, feel free to change the bandwidth on demand, depending on your requirements, okay? So I just put 20 meg. As you can see, there's also a term for this. So depends on your requirements, okay? So I just choose a no minimum term. I'm gonna hit next. And then I'm going to add a VXC. And then I'm going to do a order now, okay? Okay. Okay, so services will take a few minutes to provision. So once the services has been up, okay, it will show you in a green icon like this, okay? So just let me do a refresh, okay? Okay, just let me remove one. Okay, right now I just need to remove one of the services first before I show you. Okay, so this will take a while for it to come up. Okay, so what happened is that in view of time, okay, I already spin up another virtual router, okay, deploying at these locations, at this Sing 10, okay, in Singapore, having this compute, and it's currently already connected to Google Cloud, okay. So what I'm going to show you is that I'm going to use the virtual router to connect to AWS. Yeah, so it's very simple. Okay, so once you have the virtual router up, you can connect to any endpoint. So let me just show you. I'll click on the connections itself. Okay, so before I move on, as I mentioned, you can connect to any of the cloud over here. Okay, and you also can do a private connections between the MVE, MCR port, etc. You can create internet to our Megaport marketplace, and also lastly our service key, whereby if let's say somebody want to connect to you, you can pass them the service key, and then using a service key, they can establish the connection to you. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to head over to cloud, and I'm going to choose AWS for today demo. Okay, so for AWS connection type, there's basically two, hosted with or hosted connections. So you have to decide which are the method that you want to get connected to the cloud. So for today demo, I'll be using hosted with. So choose the locations that you want to on-ramp to, because I'm having a MV in Singapore. So I'm going to connect to uh, the direct connections in Singapore. Okay, so I'm going to choose global switch for this case. Okay, I'm going to choose here. I'm going to hit next. Okay, so you need to put a name over here. I'll just say, okay, I'll put AWS demo. Okay, you also need to decide at this point of time the limit, to connect to the cloud. Okay, I'm just going to put 50 meg. Okay. Okay, so for the AM VLAN, you can let Megaport assign you the VLAN if you don't have, okay? Otherwise, because I have preference, I'm going to set 100 in this case. So I'm going to, again, select the correct terms that you want, okay? I'm going to hit next, okay? So as you can see, the connection type is either private or public. So for today demo, I'm going to do a private, okay? And then you need to have your AWS ID ready at this point of time. So I'm going to key in my AWS account ID, and then followed by my router ASN. Okay. Then I'm going to key in my router IP, which I'm going to assign 1.1. Key 192.168.1.2/30. Okay. So we also support BGP authentication key. So I'm going to key in the authentication key here. Let me just make sure that I key the correct one. Okay. So once you're okay with that, you just hit next. Okay. Feel free to review your information. Everything is correct before you order. Okay. Just let me add the VXC. Okay. Remember to cut our order. Okay. So just order now. Okay, great. So what I've done is that I already managed to add a connections to my AWS. Okay. Yeah, so this will again take a few minutes for the service to be up. So what's next is that after the service has been up, you need to head over to the AWS uh, um, console to accept the VIF. Yeah. Okay. So while waiting for this, okay, I just want to show you that just now we deploy the virtual edge, which is this MV tech drop virtual edge. Okay. The icon turned to green. Okay. The icon turned to green means that the service has been up. Okay. What you can do is that just to show you that it's connected to the internet. Okay. Then let's go to detail. As you can see, this is the IP, public IP address has been assigned for you to SSH into your MVE. Okay. So it's a .81. Okay. But later on, I'll be showing you how to do a SSH. I'm going to show you how I'm going to SSH into this virtual router. Okay. Just hold on. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. So later on, we're going to SSH into this .59, okay, router, okay. So let's just check the connection again for AWS, okay. Let me go over to this tab, okay. Just let me do a refresh. Okay, so as you can see, the AWS demo, okay, is confirming. So you can click over here and see that you need to accept the VIF, okay. So what I'm going to show you now is that I'm going to SSH into this router. Let me share another screen. Okay. So as you can see, I already SSH into my router itself. Let me try again. Okay, I'm going to show you. I have already pre-set up the interface. Okay. Okay, so the interface I already pre-set up to this .1.1. Okay. So I'm going to show my BGP. Okay, so as you can see, the BGP has not been up yet. It has been, let me check. Oh, has been up on. Let me try again. Go back to my screen. Okay, let me just okay, let me go back. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the service to make sure that that has been up. Okay, so as you can see, the AWS connections has been okay. Okay, so I'm going to accept the VIF right now. Okay. We could attach to the VIF. Okay. Okay, just let me head over to my AWS account again to do a refresh. This will again take a few minutes, for the BGP to be established because I already do the BGP in my console itself. Okay. Let me just refresh. Yeah. Okay, so in view of time, okay, what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to show you how easy that you are able to connect from one MV to another MVE. Okay. So let's say this MVE, just now this MVE we already created. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do a private connection between the MV. So I'm going to head over to plus connections to using private VXC. I'm going to choose MVE Serena. Okay, I'm going to have a name. I'll just put Inter Connect. Okay. And then I'm going to say maybe it's 100 Mbps between the two MVE. Okay, I'll let the system auto assign the VLAN. Okay, I'll choose no term again, and I'll add the VXC, and I'll say add, and I'll say order. Okay. So remember to order now. Okay. Okay, so this again will take a few minutes for the services to be up as well. Okay, so this is how easy you can deploy a virtual edge on Megaport backbone. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, with that, I will end my demo. So if you have any questions, do let me know. You can leave it on LinkedIn, or you can actually drop me an email as well. Okay, let me see. I got any questions. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I have one question here. Is there a way to join the MVE with the port? Yes, you can join MVE to the port like what I did just now using a private VXC. So it's the same way to connect using the MVE together. So basically, you just come to the MVE, you can add a connections over here using a private VXC. You can add to a port that you already have. So as you can see in my system, we have a lot of like different port that we already order for some testing. So you can actually just do a linkage to the port directly, okay, over here. So it's the same step, okay? And then you just hit next to do the ordering. Okay, let me see any other question. Okay, so do you have any, one question, do you have any guidance or documentation on setting up to clouds? Yes, so you can head over to docs.megaport.com. So we have a lot of documentations and guidance over there on how to set up step-to-step guides to any of the clouds that we today that we have we are already interconnected to. Okay, so with that, I will end my presentations. Thank you so much for being here today. And we will see you next Friday again. And over here, I wish you a good Friday. Thank you.